Hello, my friends. Hello. You gorgeous, sparkly rainbow pixels of light that you are. Sparkling, sparkling, scintillating. Let's see all of us scintillating, positively, shining our light so bright. And speaking of shining our light brightly, I feel called to talk about the truth frequency and the beauty of the blue flame of truth, the blue flame which does not consume. How incredible is this blue flame energy? Archangel Michael energy, some people call it. Gorgeous, gorgeous blue. It's a very cold energy. It's a purifying energy. It burns away that which does not belong. It's the flame that's so hot it becomes cold. So can we tap into the purifying energy of that blue flame of truth and feel it encapsulate our beingness and encapsulate anyone we feel may need that blue flame of truth? Operating in the frequency of truth is such a delight. It's such a freedom. It's a freedom when we can express who we are authentically and be our true authentic selves. Authenticity is the highest frequency. Did you know that? It's better to be who we are than just put on a fake face. It just always is. So yeah, the truth frequency is big on my mind lately. And can we just put our intention that only truth may enter our beingness and only truth may enter our field, and that people will only be allowed to speak truth in our presence? And can we really strengthen that intention to make it rock solid to where, things will happen. They'll start coughing because they won't be able to speak a lie. I've witnessed that happen, or I won't hear the person. They'll say something, I won't hear it because it's not something I want to be true for them. And it's some kind of, program that they're running. This here is a mochi stone. I found this one recently, pulled it out of a box somewhere. It's quite happy to be playing and moving. I had another one and I had them both in my pockets. They say that some are more male and some are more female, so we have one of each with the different shapes. It sort of balances the polarity. And putting our intention into harmonizing those male and female energies within, so that once we've harmonized them within, we will be in harmony with all the other men and women around us, because we've found harmony in our own self in those energies. We want to avoid in any way, like men do this or women do this, is that's just like what we speak is the reality that we're creating. So let's really hone in on the words that we speak. Is that what we want to be true? Is that the negative that we want to use as the 10% to flip it to the 90% positive of developing the photos? We don't want to stay around looking at the negatives. The colors are reversed. Anyone that grew up in the 80s and 90s like I did, we had film back then, and you took your pictures with the camera, then you brought the exposed film to the photo lab, and they would use the specific, concoction of chemicals. They probably had a machine back at that time, but I would do it in high school in the dark room, where we would literally put the right proportion of chemicals into the canister to develop the negatives. But we weren't standing around, we would only look at the negative a little bit, and then we would put it, in the machine to shine the light to develop a photo. So what are the photos of our lives that we want to develop? What are the realities that we want to see ourselves shifting into? We really need to open our mind to things being better than they ever have been before in all aspects of our life. Can we see ourselves flying around in zero gravity, little spaceships? I want one. Are you ready for teleportation? I am. Are you ready for, amazing technology that helps us produce incredible food and helps us heal our planet, because we're learning to work with the earth and everything we do needs to be healing action towards the earth. And if it's healing for the earth, it'll be healing for us. If you're putting chemicals in the ground, that is what you're going to be bringing into your own energy field. What we put out is what we get back, 100%. This is a holographic universe. What we put out is what comes right back to us. And sometimes there may be a delayed time component of where it takes time for you to see it come back. But you know, for me lately, it's so immediate. And we can all experience that real immediate feedback loop of the universe when we honor it as a conscious being that we are nested within, as we are simply conscious beings that are nested within larger conscious beings. The galaxy is a conscious being. You know, I heard of scientists that I really admire a lot of his work. I heard him say, the universe is not a conscious being. And I said, what? Like, that's crazy. To me, that sounds crazy at this point. So I'm wondering how you all feel about it. I may be the one that sounds crazy. That's totally cool. I can be whatever character you need me to be in your story. I wanted to, okay, so yeah, truth frequency, the blue flame which does not consume, what a beautiful healing energy. I consider it the, you know, ask the question, what's the pure form of anger? How do we express ourselves when we're frustrated in a healthy way that is healing to the person, but it's what they need to hear? And I feel like loud and clear, you know, over a year now of the answers coming through in the form of just this blue flame of truth, and encapsulating myself in this energy, feeling the purification, feeling the soothing. It'd be like if you had a hot burn and all of a sudden there was a soothing, cool relief encapsulating that area of warmth, and all of a sudden it was just so cool and comfortable. So yeah, I hope you all resonate with that truth frequency. The more of us embody it, the more it just becomes, you know, because truth can be really funny. I have a friend that he's like, goes with truth as the humor, and so it's like, you know, we can be that spontaneous, comical, witty self sometimes just by stating what everyone sees and knows, but maybe everyone else is too nervous to speak up. So can we be the ones to just state the obvious truth for everyone? Because it's sometimes just ridiculous, you know, and we're all just sitting around like everything's fine. It's like, can someone please just like say it? So okay, I wanted to go back to this graphic because the more I work with mod 9 Fibonacci, or you could call it digital parody version of Fibonacci, these 24 numbers that repeat, the more I just see these beautiful, beautiful patterns. I was drawing it with this notepad. I was showing sort of the relationships with these kind of like, do you see, there's a 5 here and there's a 5 here, so I sort of connected them with this curved line, and you know, then the 6 and the 3 equal 9, then you have a 2 and a 2, you have the 8 and the 1 equal 9, then you have a 1 and a 1. So I was just drawing these little like rainbow arcs, and then down here below we have 4 and 4 perfectly lining up, 6 and 3 which equal 9, 7 and 7 perfectly lining up, 6 and 3 equaling 9, 7 and 7 lining up, 8 and 1 equaling 9, 8 and 8 lining up, and then the 9. So seeing like this mirror, you know, putting it with like symmetry. I really love symmetry. And anyone who's ever arranged an altar before knows that it's all about symmetry and just aligning the objects just right so where it feels perfectly, you know, as symmetrical as you can get it, you know, with a little bit here and there that is not perfectly symmetrical, you know, with natural objects and stones and crystals. But having things like lined up, it feels good. It's like negentropic, it's charge collapse, it's bringing things to order. How can we bring order to our lives? You know, can we set this as an intention to bring order into our lives? This blue flame which also represents, I've mentioned before, I feel, as I've been studying the technology that is related to generating a genuine blue flame through this negentropy, this charge collapse, this collapse of information, bringing order. Can we use this concept to bring order to our own lives? So anyway, when things like this emerge and the order in our universe on the fundamental levels emerges clearly, plain to see, to me it sparks joy. You know, because when I had seen original Fibonacci, it looks like this chaotic series of numbers that just goes on forever and like how are they related to each other other than you add 2 to get the next. It's beyond you add 2 to get the next. It's like this beautiful interwoven relationship. So I know I already showed it to you, but there's a lot going on, so maybe let's just look at it again. And I did divide it into degrees here, starting at 360 degrees, or you could say 0 degrees, and then it goes increments of 15 degrees and 30 and 45 and 60 and 75 and 90. And, you know, these are 24 points. I shared a post, I think I shared it in the community, I know I shared it on Instagram, but gosh, I wish I had a graphic here to show you all. Oh wait, I do. I can get it. It will just take one quick second. I have the book that it came from. And this was my friend, amazing friend Janine lent me this incredible book by Drunvalo, he's a Melchizedek dude. And let's see, is graphics of wheels in ancient Egypt. Okay, so check this out, guys. Folks, gals, guys and gals, check this out, folks. These are ancient Egyptian drawings, okay? And this wheel right here has 24 spokes. That's right, the same as this mod 9 Fibonacci, repeating 24 digits. So here we have the same symmetry, and there's 8 of them, which the number 8 is significant. Well, I'll get into that later, but mapping out the sphere, okay, I guess I can just briefly say it, but we will get into this later. When you map a sphere with the X, Y, and Z coordinates, up and down, left and right, front and back, and then you separate the sphere along those axes of symmetry, those 3 axes of symmetry, it results in 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, 8 like chunks of the sphere, like 8 quarters. I guess it's like quarters of a hemisphere. So each hemisphere having 4 quarters, with a total of 8 pieces, creating the sphere. So I just thought it was interesting that there were 8 wheels. Of course, the number 8 we're seeing a lot here. Anyway, I just want to show that to you all. I really want to look into these more, but I just love it when things align like this. It's just these universal truths coming together, and you look at it from different angles and you start seeing the same, you're like, oh, this is the same thing from different angles. It's like having dreams of many different locations, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait, this is all the same town. And then you can see in your mind's eye the map of how all the places are connected together, and all of a sudden it just reveals itself to you when you may have thought of them as isolated places, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, this is all the same place. So to me, this is part of science, is like looking at things from different angles. What does Bearden say? What did Einstein say, talking about this Einstein spherical model of the universe? And I'm like, that's exactly lines up with what I've been seeing. And also, I really just want to encourage you all to really open your mind's eye to your own capability of being a discoverer, an uncoverer, a recoverer of this wisdom. This is a resurgence now, okay? Lining up with the ancient wisdom. This, by the way, I should just share what book I got this from. The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, Volume 1, Drunvalo Melchizedek. So I'm barely tapped into his work. I can't, like, I don't know him. Can't say I vouch for him or anything like that, but I have definitely found lots of nuggets in this. Yeah, I'm so grateful for you all. We will say goodbye. There's some activity going on here behind me, but I'm glad we got to look at this, even if just for one more moment, seeing, and you can obviously pause and just see the relationships between these numbers here and how they line up, and how I've mapped out the triangles. I did leave the 6 and the 3 open because these are like, this is like the energy coming in from the divine, and this is could be viewed as a circuit. So we're wanting to get in that mindset of how's the energy flowing through the most fundamental particles in our realm of this universe. And of course, from there we can map out beyond the edges of the universe with the sacred geometry, with the platonic solids. And I've yet to really go into that with you all, but that is something I'm super excited about, is this mapping the lattice work of the nested platonic solids that are all nested at golden ratio, and there's layers where they all exist. It's like these virtual layers that Bearden talks about, virtual particle flux. And I just naturally see these nodes of our universe that are fixed to a degree. They're probably not ultimately fixed, but we can map out sort of like this universal, the nodes of this universe, like to a very large degree, to the tiny and to the, you know, very massively large, even bigger than our universe, bigger than the universe and smaller than Planck, actually going beyond these arbitrary limits of our universe. And how this mapping of the platonic solids essentially does that quite naturally and quite obviously, as if there were no boundaries of our universe, because we do know this is all a holographic illusion. So let's just play with it, let's have fun. Please rise up to remember that you, if you're watching this, you're like me, you like playing with numbers for fun. We're math and science geeks and nerds, and we do this for the joy of it. And so we all have, like, there is so much right now to be discovered, uncovered, recovered. Just Dan Winter's Planck Fire formula alone. Anyone that wants to make discoveries, just pull that out and look at it and find what are some natural phenomena going on that produce frequencies, spectrum of light, time periods that things happen, spatial periods that we observe. These things can all be mapped with Planck and golden ratio to see these patterns emerging in real time right before our eyes. Dan has definitely mapped some of the key alignments of that formula, but there's so much more for us to be able to like see sort of the inner workings of why things happen at certain time cycles or over certain periods of space, seeing these more fundamental patterns that govern the larger expressions of creation, the larger emanations, the larger emanation, what's the word? You know, projections into this illusion of physicality into our world. It's all holographic projection, right? So how can we tap into the fundamental holographic projection on the micro scale, map that out to the edge of the universe and beyond, and smaller than Planck, to really see how our universe fits into the larger picture. So it's all fun, but yeah, I guarantee you all have a lot of uncoveries in your future. If you're into this kind of thing, please step up, please feel that within yourself, because for me, when I said, well, what am I gonna offer? I got just tired of looking at everyone else's stuff. I love to read other scientific research, but I was like, well, am I gonna see something that other people haven't really noticed before? What am I gonna contribute? And when I started asking that of myself, the dreams started to come in more, okay? The visions coming in stronger. So anyway, I'll leave you all with that. So much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment, this precious now as we connect across time and space. I'm so grateful for y'all. I love you all so much. You are all my friends. I hope you know that. And we all know each other on a soul level. And this is all just particles of pixeled, sparkly rainbow light. So let's just remember that and have fun with it a little bit. All right, so much love. Talk to you later.